Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Conquest of Elysium 4, episode 4 for this series. And last time we left off, we had gotten sweet revenge back from our previous army getting destroyed by the bishops, which was really nice. It was just a overall nice way to kind of wrap things up. So we're looking pretty good right now. We're starting to build another army up over here. We've got a combat going on here, and then we've got our actual demonologist down here, and he's going down to do a little bit of scouting around these surrounding areas. I also like to start off the episode by thanking JD, who I believe it was JD. Now I forgot. I'm pretty sure it was JD. I mean, I know it was him, but I'm not sure if that was his name. But he gave me the correct pronunciation for the beings that we ran into over here, which was ethereals. So that was the name for those. I can't believe that I didn't know that. That was really stupid of me, but I'm probably going to end up pronouncing a lot of things wrong during this anyways. So just be prepared for that. But thank you, JD, for that. I really appreciate it. Let's start off by, I believe we were actually about to end this turn, right? Because we had no more movement points. I can't remember. Yeah, we're all spent on our movement points there, and 36. We don't have enough to hire anybody. Sitting pretty good here on the sacrifices. All right, let's end our turn and get this combat going here. Alright. Holy shit. Well, I can't really guarantee we're going to win this. The deer will obviously be easy, but the bear are going to be immensely difficult. Oh, maybe not as difficult. We are doing pretty well. I'm sure their attack, though, yeah. They've got some pretty gnarly attacks. We can actually take a look at them real quick. They've got a lot of hit points. 1 to 6, 1 to 3, 1 to 3. So decent amount of attack there. Obviously no armor, so they're going to hurt for that. But they're still hurting me pretty good here. Not too worried about the deer. The deer are just a nuisance for the most part. It's the bears that are going to be a problem. Hopefully our commander can put up a good fight. That wasn't too well. Yike, he's just taking it. Holy crap, I'm really gonna lose this entire army to a group of bears. Well, there we go. That deer actually killed that archer. Alright, that really sucks. So we lost that army to that group of bears and deer, but bears are really nothing to fuck around with, I'm not gonna lie to you. Same with the moose. They're very powerful. They've got a lot of hit points. They're sitting pretty well on attacks. I mean, they're definitely not something you want to mess with. So it's not like that wasn't really, you know, I mean, that was kind of expected. That's alright, though. We're just going to let that, you know, we're going to shrug off that defeat, let it ride off our shoulders here, and we're just going to keep moving forward. We definitely want to recruit a commander as soon as possible. I've only got 53 gold, so we're going to let that kind of just sit with the intentions of hopefully getting a commander here soon. So 1 scout, not really what we're looking for. So we're going to keep holding off and waiting. Got a lot of animals down here. I'm going to actually go through the giant ants here and come around this way. Got a lot of animals moving in, so I need to get a commander as soon as possible so I can get some armies moving around up here. But here we go. We've got this battle. I'm assuming it's not going to be that big of a battle. Yeah, it's going to go pretty quickly with those hellhounds here. There we go. All finished up. So we did go over last time how the sacrificing, we can increase that meter there, to use the sacrifices to summon better demons. And just have a higher chance of summoning them, more or less. So that is what we're going to use that for. I think I kind of want to start doing that a little more often. And getting a really nice demon army built up. I think we'll actually try to summon some demons now. So if we take our sacrifice level here and we actually bump it all the way up to 150, it does cost us a lot more sacrifices to actually use these, but it's worth it in the end because we can almost guarantee that we're going to get them. So let's do the greater demon summoning and see what we can't get. There we go, and we've got him. So it did cost us a lot more. However, we turned him over without having hardly or not any casualties. Okay, we've got a farm down here. Obviously, we're going to take it, but it's my ability to hold it's going to be pretty much impossible until I get some more armies out here on the field. And to get more armies out here, I need a commander. Now, I could always use my demonologist to summon a demon lieutenant who is actually a commander. And he would be able to help me out. However, I don't want to do that just yet. We'll just skip right through this. Actually skip through it instead of speeding it up. That last button there, I don't know if I mentioned that before, but that'll actually fully skip any battles. Oh, here we go. So we've got an old castle ruin here. There are 6 units. Most are soulless, but there are also 1 banshee. So there's also 1 banshee there. Interesting. So we've got a vampire. We have a vampire here. That's interesting. The curse of vampirism, I guess that's how that would be pronounced. So vampirism brings inhuman strength and magical power. If a necromancer is unwilling to give up certain pleasures of the flesh, vampirism can be preferable to lichcraft. Although inferior in magic, the strength of blood can be quite useful for more physically demanding tasks, making this unit pretty powerful, actually. Immune to charms. He's an undead unit. He's immortal, reforms in old castle ruins, slash resistant, blunt resistant, banishable though, and he is flying. And then there was a banshee here. I'm guessing this is the banshee. Fairly weak. It is a spirit of the Barrows, and her wailing heralds death. Although usually wearing the visage of an old hag, it is not unheard of her appearing as a maiden in mourning. Mourning being crying, weeping for her lost ones. Yeah, weeping for her lost ones. So that pretty much summed it up right there. But she's got. She causes fear. She's floating. She's ethereal. Charm immunity, sleep immunity. Okay, interesting. No armor. Not too many hit points. And then they're guarded by some soulless. Unburied dead can be put to use by those who know the dark arts. A fresh corpse makes a more sturdy vessel than the naked bones of the long dead, but it is still susceptible to holy energies. So basically zombies, I'm going to assume. Clumsy. Amphibian, slow, mindless, yeah, zombies, essentially. So not very strong, so the vampire is definitely the most strongest unit there, and he's guarding old castle ruins, which actually looks like it has a couple of things. I can't really, there's no way for me to really go down there and actually see what those are. But he is on a castle wall there, no barricades. That could be useful for taking, but it really depends on a couple of things. Like whether or not I could actually take it and not lose my entire army to that vampire. Okay, so we did get a captain. And Birk the captain, we're just going to go ahead and get recruit him because we know that we're definitely need him. And we'll transfer some spearmen over. And we should be able to actually recruit some more units. Oh, not swordsman. Since he doesn't technically count as a recruitment because he's a special unit. And we'll transfer those other spearmen over to him as well. Because we're going to have to go down and combat these giant ants. Actually, I'll just kind of hold off. They will not be a match for giant ants. As we've gone over before, giant ants have 21 hit points, so they're fairly powerful. Not something that I think he could go up against. Now, as for our friend Sabouts the demonologist down here, why don't we try to maybe summon a demon lieutenant? How much is that going to cost us if I bump it all the way up? It'll cost us all of our sacrifices. Is it worth it? If he turns against us, no, obviously it's not worth it in any situation he turns against us. However, it'll greatly impact us right now because we have exactly 150. So you know what? We're gonna skip that for now. And we've got 7 levies here on a farm. Levies being fairly weak units, pretty standard in general. So we'll actually go to war with them or go to battle with them and grab that farm up. One quick thing I want to go over really quick. So I mentioned I would talk about these up here, and I think now is a good time to do that. My friend Dean too kind of brought this up in a comment on the last episode, and so I wanted to kind of bring this up and go over it. So we're looking right now at Elysium, which is the current plane. Now we've got 6 planes of Elysium basically, so 6 different kind of areas, like almost think of them as dimensions. I think that's the best way to think of them, as different dimensions of Elysium. And so we're looking right now at the current dimension, which is actually Elysium itself. Then we've got unknown planes here, so things that we haven't discovered. However, we have discovered one of them, and that is the Inferno. And I believe if I click on this, can I view it? I can, so I can actually view the Infernal plane. Okay, so how this works. These are all basically different worlds that are laying over this world kind of in a way. So they're different areas. Think of them as kind of things that are going on in different worlds, but they can affect this world. So for instance, we've got Infernal here, which I guess could be kind of like a demon world. So for us, that's pretty important because we're demonologists. So if I summon a greater demon or a demon lieutenant or anything like that, the game doesn't create that unit. That unit was already created when I started the game. That unit is simply just plucked out of the infernal realm, the hell, if you will. He's plucked out of the infernal realm, and he is plopped into my army into the Elysium realm, which is the one that we're playing in now, or the Elysium plane. We'll call them planes because that's what they are. So he's plucked out of the infernal plane and into the Elysium plane. And so if he dies, unless he is like actually slain in the infernal realm, and correct me if I'm wrong, but if he is slain in my realm, he doesn't actually die. He simply just goes back to the infernal realm where I could resummon him potentially in the future. If he gets slain in the infernal realm, he dies permanently. So that's something to keep in mind. There's other planes here that I have yet to discover, and I don't know really what they are at all. I have absolutely no idea. I've never really messed with them before. But the most important one, obviously, is the Inferno, and then ours, because ours is the one we're playing in, and as a demonologist, we're going to be playing around with the Inferno one a lot, because that's where we'll be getting our demons from. So last episode when we had we'll have this battle play out while I'm talking. Last episode when we had one of our Hellhounds get basically dragged back to the Inferno for being a sinner, that's what happened. The sinners actually came and grabbed him and dragged him back to the Inferno, back to this plane. And then when I had a couple creatures get banished by the bishops, they don't die. Just because they're banished doesn't mean they're dead. They're simply just banished back to the hell they came from, which is Inferno. So it's really cool how that works. You know, these planes here, they affect your world. They affect your gameplay. They can open up and leak into your world if you're not careful. As a demonologist, I could potentially open a portal and invite them into my world, and maybe they'll fight for me. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll destroy everything and then destroy me as well. I mean, we don't really know. They're demons. We don't know what could happen. So you got to be careful with that. You know, you're playing with fire on that one, if you know what I'm saying. So, all right, we got some archers here. We'll recruit them with that unit. But that's all I'm going to say for that for now. We'll see how many of those planes we discover and how useful it is for us in the future. Let's just skip this deer battle. And winter is here. There are 2 bears there. There's a gold stream. Interesting. I think I stumbled upon that before, and it was pretty well guarded. We'll go on to that farm there. We've almost got this army pretty well built up that I'll be comfortable with moving them out. However, I'm a little upset that I lost all those units earlier, because obviously that played a major role. I knew I wasn't going to hold that farm for long. You know, that old castle actually seems like a really good idea. Now I got 178, so why don't we start heading towards that old castle? You know, though, the problem with the old castle is I don't think I can hold it. Personally, I just do not think I can hold it. Maybe I'm better off just using my army to go for the gold stream. Spring is here. Good, good. Let's just go through this way for now. There we go. We've got a guard tower. That's an even better pick. So a guard tower will actually let us recruit units from here. This can be extremely useful because then I can stand up armies down here instead of having to build an army all the way up here and then march it down here. I can actually stand one up right here. So this is going to be pretty useful. We're definitely going to want to capture that guard tower ASAP. So let's go through and recruit some more units here. We'll get some more archers for our army. We've got 2 moose, so we're just going to sit there on the citadel for now because the moose attacking a castle would be fairly interesting. I'm going to skip this, of course. We've got another captain we can hire. No big deal. So we're going to go through and actually attack this fortified wall, and I believe this will be the first time we've actually attacked a fortified encampment. I'm almost positive. Yes, this should be the first time. I don't think these count, the ancient temples. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. And we'll take that guard tower. Now, I like where this guard tower is. It's right here kind of tucked away in a mountain range. So I think we'll stick with that. And then as for this, we'll just leave him be. So let's watch this kind of play out a little bit. We're going to charge this wall and see how we do. So we've got a couple archers firing down upon us. Obviously, these melee guys that are up here on the wall can't hurt us. The goal is for us to kind of break down this barricade so we can get our melee units in there. Now, we don't have to always get our melee units in there because our ranged units can obviously fire up onto the walls, and then our flying units can fly right up there and do some damage, as you can see there. We managed to pretty much take everybody out without even having to bust down the barricade, but we do got another captain that's ready to be recruited if we so choose to recruit him. We don't have enough gold, so we won't worry about it. Let's go through and let's deal with these bears so they don't swoop down and take any of this. And now that we got this guard tower, if we go into the recruit units, we can actually click on the guard tower and recruit straight to there. So that is pretty good to be able to do. We can start standing up some armies down here in this area. And we'll just kind of play this quick by here because my hellhounds will make short work of these bears. There we go. Hellhounds are very powerful. The demonologist is a pretty powerful class for the most part. Obviously, he's got his flaws, like I would expect most of the classes to have, but overall, he's not a bad class to have. Let's do this. Let's grab up this guy here and recapture that farm. Okay, that is not a lot of units, but it's enough for me. I'm gonna recapture that farm and then get some spearmen inside of here. So we've got a couple spearmen guarding, a couple archers guarding the citadel. We always want to have some guards on the citadel just in case an AI player comes wandering up this way. We don't want him drifting in and causing all sorts of mayhem. Let's definitely go for this. We've got 6 spearmen here. That's going to be a joke. So we're just going to ride right in there. And another guard tower with a high lord. Okay, interesting. Magic resistance isn't bad. Armor is pretty good. And his lancing charge is very powerful. He's also got local leadership and a leadership of himself. And he's pretty fast. Interesting. And these are all fairly experienced units. So that's something to think about as well. So I think I still do want to take that guard tower. I don't think I'll have any issues doing that. What I definitely want to do is get a demon lieutenant summoned so he can command one of my armies. But here we go, going through and doing some damage to these guys. That was easy. They didn't even get to me. They didn't even touch me. Let's skip through here real quick. Let this play out. There we go. And Independence attacking us. Okay, so our army is getting attacked by a couple of scouts and some basically lower units, where this shouldn't be an issue. They should very easily be able to clear these guys out. We'll take a few casualties, but overall I have the more powerful army and I will dominate that battle. A heat wave has struck the land and forest fires have started everywhere. Oh my god, no, that's terrible. Well, that shouldn't really affect us all too much, but it's still pretty awful. Let's move into this village here and recapture that because it is pretty important that we keep this gold building up, and then move up here so we can transfer these spearmen and archers over to us. And once we get enough gold next turn, we'll recruit another unit to hold down the citadel as we go through and liberate the farm, the hamlet, and maybe even deal with those 2 moose over there that are clearly giving us some problems. Okay, let's use a special power. And let's attempt to summon a demon lieutenant. So this guy's considered a commander unit. Okay, and he did convert over to us. That's very good because he looks extremely powerful. Let's take a look at our unit and see what we've got. So here he is right here. He is Sabouts. Oh, gets close to Sabouts. Sabouts the Delifigus. I don't really know how to pronounce that. I'm sure one of you guys will. But he's got a demon whip. So he actually came in here with some gear. He's got a demon whip, which has an area of effect, burst 1, extra effect once target is hit, and a fire damage of 1 to 15. Very powerful. He's fire resistant, he's stealth, and he's flying, and obviously banishable, as all demons are. He can cast a couple spells. He's got dark magic level 3, infernal magic level 2, his demon whip, a barbed tail. Known in infernal magic spells, pain, strength, harm, bloodburst, and known dark magic spells. He can summon shade warriors, shade of death. He has tendrils of darkness, shadow form. This is insane. This guy is very powerful. That covers the entire battlefield with darkness, it looks like. Doesn't affect undead. He's got some shadow warriors, or shade warriors, I'm sorry, which are etherealness, and also some summon shades. A maximum of about 25 shades can be summoned in a single battle. 1 to 3 shades summoned. Very, very good. That guy is extremely powerful. He is a devious and sneaky devil, possibly the result of some servant crossbreeding experiment. The Helophagus or whatever it is, he likes it in the shadows where they are not bothered by anyone. This makes them look weak in the eyes of the other devils. However, most devils would be unable to find the Helophagi, as there is no point in trying and bothering them, even though they might be weak. Interesting. Okay. How many hit points did he have? 81. Holy shit. As opposed to like our 56 with our hellhounds and our 44 with our devils. He is actually really powerful. So we're going to storm this castle here. And there we go. If we actually... Oh, I forgot that you've got to actually bring him... See, we can bring him into the battle, I believe. But to transfer units, we actually have to click on him and transfer him over. And I don't believe we can do it now because we're actually in battle. Or no, we got to click on him, transfer units. There, we've got him. Yeah, you've actually got to transfer him. Make sure you transfer him over to your army because he counts as a commander. And we've got a market village down here that we're definitely going to try taking. Something I want to bring up real quickly since we are at the we're about at the 20-minute mark for this video. So I'm going to run these videos a little longer. A couple people, mainly Gloryfire, and then Dean2 brought it up, was that they wanted to see these videos go just a little bit longer, and I don't have an issue with that. We'll run these videos a little longer because they are a lot of fun. I'm having fun with the game, so let's do it. Going to battle with these guys, you can see that wow, that was pretty awesome. Casting some special buffs there for us, as well as our devils throwing some buffs up. And you saw that he kind of moved up right in there, so he's a pretty quick unit. We'll speed up a little bit. I think we're going to pretty much fry these guys before we even get in melee contact. I was hoping we could see this guy get in there, but I don't think it's going to happen because these hellhounds are just absolutely brutal. Yeah, so the blood and the bloodlust or blood boil, or whichever that is, I believe it's blood boil. It's a pretty powerful attack, and it crushed a lot of those guys there. But no matter, we've got ourselves a guard tower, which is pretty good. We could take this market village. I say, why not? Screw the guys that own it. The most important reason I want to take that market village is because if you look down there at the bottom, it's got 3 gold, 3 sacrifices, but in the middle there, we've got ourselves some trade. 1 trade to be exact. Now, why this is very important, because I can go into the trade admin screen here, and I can now designate that trade to buy iron for us. So 1 gold will get us 1 iron per turn, so 12 iron per year for a cost of 12 gold. We're definitely going to do that. So now we're actually going to get 1 iron per turn, and that's going to let us get some swordmen and some crossbowmen, which is greatly needed right now. We've got this army just kind of holding down the citadel. We're losing a lot of stuff up here, so we're probably going to have to divert my attention up there, but I'm going to hang out down here for just a little bit and capture some of these places that are down here, because there's a lot of good places down here I want to get. Alright, let's see how these guys hold up to our hellhounds and our lieutenant there, our demon lieutenant. Oh, it's not even, doesn't even stand a chance. And he even summoned a couple of shades there, which obviously didn't even need to be. I like that he summons the shades in random spots too. That'll be pretty useful going to battle and summoning, you know, units behind the enemy's army, because there's nothing worse than having an army come up behind yours. And there you go. So we can see we've got 1 iron. So hopefully within the 5 turns, we'll have 5 iron. We can start looking at some crossbowmen and some swordsmen, and then hopefully some heavy infantry as well soon, because that'll be very important. But for now, let's just stick with a couple more spearmen and help get this army built up. And we'll transfer those spearmen over. And let's go over and capture this hamlet here. Because that's going to be important for us. We've got that bear moving around, and he's trying to cause some trouble. So let's go back and deal with him. I cannot afford to fight those moose, but I can go to this farm, and we got ambushed. I was hoping to move back to the citadel, but it just didn't happen like that. Luckily not ambushed by too powerful of enemies, so this shouldn't be an issue. There we go, nice and cleared out. And then we've got these bear here, which I know are going to be an easy group to take out with our demons. And awesome, so we took them all out, and there we go. So I think we're going to cut this episode off here. We are sitting around the 25-minute mark, so we'll just move our army onto that citadel there and grab up this unit and move down towards this village and capture that next time. So I think what's in store for next episode, we're going to keep building up our armies, try to kind of secure this down here. We're getting assaulted by tons of animals, so maybe keep building up this army. I'd like to get a cultist at some point, but keep building up this army and try to hold down the fort up here. And then as for our demonologist down here, I want to kind of keep him floating around in this area, at least until we get an army built with our guard towers to hold this area down, and then we can kind of send him north and then back over. I think that'll be the plan. So like I said, we are out of time for this episode. I do hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.